So hey guys, what's up? Welcome to this video again. You can tell by the title, she lied to get me lunch detention. She lied to get me lunch detention. Yeah. So honestly, this story, I don't know. The last story I told was about how these kids lied to get me suspended. And, you know, I mentioned how it got me, like, super heated every time I would tell the story. And, you know, here I go again. I'm going to tell another story. But this one, it still heats me, but it doesn't heat me as bad as the other one. So, basically what happened was, what happened was, I don't remember if it was in, I'm gonna be 100, this also happened in 6th grade, so, you know, my 6th grade ELA teacher was also out to, you know, pretty much like get me. She was also like a jerk to me and everything, so, I went, and I don't remember if this was, ELA class or math class, but you know, I don't know. Anyways, I don't remember if this, as I said, I don't remember if this, I don't remember if this was ELA or math. Anyways, so I'm sitting there. Oh no, it was ELA now. It was ELA, yeah. So let's just call the teacher Karen, because, you know, Karen is more like a, you know, soccer mom type jerky name. No offense to any other Karens out there who aren't soccer moms and aren't like that, you know, but I'm just saying that I'm just going to call her that. That's what her name is going to be for this story, just for the purposes of this story. So, anyway, I'm sitting in my ELA class in 6th grade. We had like these tables, like we had like these, like we had a bunch of desks pushed together, and we had a bunch of desks pushed together, and we made like, and it was like these little tables, you know. And so my table, we were doing like this project thing, and I was just sitting there minding my own business, doing my own work, not talking to anyone or doing anything. I wasn't being weird. I wasn't like screaming or anything. I was just sitting there minding my own business, doing my work. Now the other kids at my table were all sitting there freaking, like, you know, like screaming and yelling and like talking really loud and all different types of obnoxious, rude stuff would be disturbing in class. And so I'm like, I'm just completely ignoring them. I'm doing my own business. And think about it. There's like about, I don't know, there's about like 5 people at the table, and I'm one of those 5. So there's 4 people at the table, like being obnoxious, being rude, disturbing the class, you know, all different type of crap. And I'm just sitting there minding my own business. I'm the only one at my table minding my own business. And a bunch of the other tables as well are, you know, being rude and disturbing the class. And so I'm completely ignoring them, minding my own business. The teacher comes up to me, or the teacher comes up to me and says like, and says like, I don't know, she kind of comes up and gives me a warning, and it's like, you know, you need to quiet down. I'm not just saying come up to me, like comes up to the table. I'm saying she specifically comes up to me. Like she comes up, like she comes up to me, not just at the table, but you know, she comes up specifically to me she comes up specifically to me and is like, hey, you need to quiet down, and she specifies who she's talking to, but like she comes like beside me, not just beside the table, but she comes by me and says, hey, and then she says my name, and she's like, you need to quiet down, you're disrupting the class. And I'm not gonna be like, old lady, you're crazy, no, I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm not gonna do that because then I definitely get in trouble. And I'm just like, okay, I didn't say, I'm not sure how I'm being loud or anything. I don't know, maybe I said that. Anyways, she's like, you need to quiet down or else then I'm gonna like write you up or like call, I don't know, like get you lunch detention or something. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm just like, okay, sorry, because I mean, still I have no clue. I don't understand how I'm disrupting the class, but I'm not gonna be like, ah, fam, you're crazy. I'm not gonna be like, ah, fam, you're crazy. That I'm not disrupting the class. I'm just like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm still kind of confused, but like, I'm just like, okay, sorry. And she's like, okay, or no, I'm just like, okay, sorry. And she's like, yeah, you better be. And I'm like, and she walks off, and I kind of mumble under my breath, like I go like, okay. I'm like, okay. Like I can kind of mumble it, like not loud, but you know, like just kind of under my breath, sort of. And she like, then like a little, I don't know, maybe about like 5 minutes. No, let's say I think it was about maybe 4 minutes later. She comes up about 4 minutes later, and freaking she comes up about 4 minutes later, is like, hey, you're being loud again. And like she came up to me the first time and told me to be quiet. And still whenever she was there, my entire table, except for me, was still like, you know, being obnoxious and loud, even while she was right there. And she's like, you need to be quiet. And I'm like, okay, sorry. And she's like, yeah, you better be. And I'm like, and she comes back, and I'm like, she comes back, and she's like, hey, you're being loud again. And I wasn't like, and I was trying to see, you know, I didn't want her to come back and, you know, be like that and like get me in trouble or anything for something that I'm not doing. So I just wanted to see, you know, I also wanted to see if she was like out to get me. So what I did was, the first time she came, after the first time she came, I don't know, the first time, before she came the first time, she did say something. I did say something, like, I was like, I wasn't talking loud, I wasn't being like, hey, you guys, like, I was just kind of like, hey, you guys are, like, I was talking to my group, I was like, hey, you guys are kind of being loud. It wasn't necessarily groups, like it was kind of more an individual project and we weren't supposed to talk, but a bunch of people were talking, and I was like the only one in the class who wasn't, and they were all, and everybody was being loud, and so I was like, hey, can you guys quiet, and I was like, to the people sitting at my table, and I was like, hey, hey, you guys are being kind of loud, can you quieten down, please, so that I can like focus on my project, because I mean, you know, they were kind of like, they were kind of distracting me, and so I was like, hey, can you guys please quieten down so that I can concentrate and like focus on my project. And they were being so loud that they did not hear me, because I'm not gonna scream it over them and do that crap. And so, and I was being so quiet that over all of them, they couldn't even hear me. So it was like I never even said anything, because they didn't even notice that I was talking or anything. And so, facing this bull crap, and it's like, and it was, hold on. Anyways, it was like facing this bull crap that, like, you know, I'm the one being loud and all this crap. I was like, no, hold on, guys. Anyways, so guys, I just wanted, like, after the first time she came, and I was just like, after the first time she came, I was like, okay, you know what? I kind of talked and just asked them to be quiet, and there's no way they heard me, and they're sitting right in front of me, and she was like all the way on the other side of the classroom, and apparently she had heard me, even though the people sitting right in front of me couldn't hear me. And the older you get, the more you lose your hearing. And the kids at my table, I mean, they're students. They're obviously kids. And so their hearing is better than hers. And so, you know, if she's going to do this crap and be like, you know, you're being loud, like, they can't even hear me. First of all, they're kids. Their hearing is better. And they're sitting right in front of me. They can't hear me. And, I mean, if they can't hear me, then old woman, you definitely can't hear me if that's so. And I'm just like, I'm honestly super like peeing right now. And I'm like, if they can't hear me, you definitely can't. And I'm like, no, hold up. And then she comes back and she's like, yeah, and she's like, hey, I'm hearing you again. And I'm like, okay, see, and I didn't say this, but I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I never even talked because I wanted to see, I didn't want to like get in trouble again, and I wanted to see, you know, if she would come back and if she was like out to get me. She came back, like I never said a single word. Like I never said anything. Like I was just being quiet, minding my own business, trying not to talk. You know, that way I could see if she was like out to get me or anything. I never even talked. She came back and she's like, you're being too loud. And she was like, you're being too loud. And I'm like, and I'm just like, I never even talked. And I'm like, I didn't say that, but I'm like, I never even talked. There's no way that I'm being too loud if I never even talked. So she flipping, you know, she's like, I said I was gonna, like, she's like, I said I don't know why I did that. And she's like, I said I was gonna, like, write you up, or like, no, she said, like, I said I was gonna, like, get you lunch detention. And so, like, teachers can, or, I don't know, it's like, but teachers can be like, you have lunch detention, or this teacher, this crazy old lady teacher, my freaking ELA teacher, a 6th grade ELA teacher, had these cards that she would hand out if somebody was being too loud or something, and, you know, she would give you like a green one as a warning, and then if you were being too loud again, she would give you a red one. So she gave me the green card the first time she came, and I was like, okay, yep, I don't understand how this works, because clearly you're not supposed to be quiet, because freaking I was being like I didn't even say, like, anyways, she gave me the green card the first time, and I was like, okay, yep, this is completely stupid, because I was like, no. I got the green card, and I was like, nope, this doesn't belong to me, because I never did this crap. I never talked, like, I was like, I wasn't even being as loud as anybody else. Like, and I was like thinking, fam, you're being louder than me. And no, you know what, no, screw that. She just has to be the little jerk she is, and she comes back a second time, and I didn't even talk after the first time. I was minding my own business the first time, and I didn't even talk. Like, I did not even talk after the first time, and she came and, like, she gave me the green card. I didn't even talk after the first time. She came and gave me and she was like, you're being too loud again. And I was like, okay. Like, I was thinking in my head, oh my gosh, this woman was born in a lab, because, you know, she must have freaking, like, supersonic hearing. If she must have, like, the best hearing in the entire world if she can hear me freaking, like, thinking, because I never even talked. If she can hear my thoughts, that is pretty crazy, because there's no way that she can hear me talk. I mean, you can, like, you know, there's, like, you can either hear somebody thinking, which is, like, pretty much impossible. Like, this is, like, impossible to hear what somebody's thinking. Or you can hear, actually, possibly, it's possible that you can hear somebody talk. And I never even talked, so she couldn't hear me talk if I never even talked. She freaking came and gave me, like, the bullcrap freaking red card, and it's like, you have lunch detention. And so I'm like, no, and I didn't say it out loud. I was just on my head, fam, this woman is crazy. She is I was like, fam, this woman's crazy. So I didn't. So I just went to lunch. I did not go to like there's a different room, like there's like a different little room, you know, that you can go for there's like a different room that you can go for like there's a different room that you have to go to lunch detention, and then you know during lunch they call out names, and if you didn't go to lunch detention, then they have like a list of people who's supposed to go to lunch detention, and then they'll go to lunch detention and see who's there, and if somebody's not there, they'll be like they'll check off everybody who's like in lunch detention that's supposed to be there, and if you're not there, then they'll be like they'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna use
Teleporter online. I have opened the file.
I'm just gonna use some like random example names for this. They'll be like they'll like call over like the intercom thing there, and they'll be like Kaylee, Caitlin, Jacob, Josh, I don't know, just different freaking like names. Like they'll call everybody's name who they didn't check off because they weren't there. And we'll be like, please report lunch detention. And I'm like, okay, you know what? And then they call, and I'm like, please don't call my name, because if you do, this school is absolutely full of crap. And I'm like, and they call my name, and then they're like, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's not lunch detention, maybe it's something else, maybe I'm not in, maybe they're not calling me for lunch detention. Like they'll also do the same stuff or other stuff. They'll be like, you know, please come see me, you know. And then so like maybe they're not talking about lunch detention. Maybe they're talking about something else. Maybe they're talking about like, you know, maybe they're talking about like, you know, maybe they're talking about please come. Maybe they're talking about please come see them or something. And then I'm like, okay, here they go, here they're about to say it, and then they say, please report your lunch detention, and so then I'm like, no, I'm not doing this crap, so I just completely ignore it. I don't go to lunch detention, I don't even get up, I just sit there, and the kids at my table is like, I don't know, maybe about like 10 kids who can sit at like a single circle table, and then they're like, and they all start looking at me, and I'm like, I don't know, I just didn't say anything, I just pretended like I didn't see them. And, you know, they come back, and it's like, I don't know, anyways, they do it again, and then they call my name, and they're like, please report to lunch detention, and then, you know, one of like the people, like, I don't know, like one of the teachers or something like that comes back and it's like, hey, follow me, I gotta take lunch detention. I'm like, oh my gosh, this bull crap. And then I didn't say it out loud, but you know. So yeah, I went to lunch detention. They made me fill out a paper saying like what I did and why I have lunch detention. And also the teacher, like whenever she came to me and said that I was being like, and she said like, oh, she's like, oh, you're being too loud and you're disrupting the class. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this teacher's full of bull crap. But, you know, so I go, another teacher, my math teacher, who I also said was out to get me, is like, yeah, it was like, you know, she threatened to give me lunch detention too, and I'm like, and then like, they're like, fill in the sheet, and like, one of the questions is like, why do you have lunch detention? And I said, what the teacher wanted me to fill in was saying that like, and like originally I wrote nothing because my math teacher had just said, oh, I'm gonna give you lunch detention, and like threatened to give me lunch detention for absolutely nothing. She gave me no reason. She did not say why. I was doing nothing wrong. I was just doing what I was supposed to be doing, and that's it. She threatened to give me lunch detention, so I'm like, so then it's like, what did you do? Why, like, what did you do to get it? It's like, what did you do to get lunch detention? And so I put down nothing, and then that's like, and I'm like, I just put down nothing, and then, you know, I don't remember, I think that was like I think it was like 3 questions, but the other questions were just like, what is food? And then, you know, and then like something else, I don't remember. I think it was pretty useless questions after that. 2 useless questions after that one. That was pretty much the sheet, and it was like the sheet. And so I filled in the sheet. You know, I put nothing because I did nothing wrong. My math teacher threatened, so that's what I thought I was having to go to lunch detention for. And they're like, what do you mean? And they come back, look at the sheet, they come back to me and they're like, what do you mean nothing? And I'm like, she just threatened, and she's like, and she comes back and she's like, he comes back and he's like, what do you mean nothing? And I'm like, oh well, the teacher just threatened me to give me lunch detention and she gave me no reason at all. And he's like, who? And I'm like, and I say my math teacher's name, and he's like, no, this is for your ELA teacher. And I'm like, oh. And then he gives me the sheet back, and so I erase the stuff. I erase the stuff that I put down, and it's like, what did you do wrong? And I'm like, nothing. And I think one of the questions might have been like, what? And I think one of the questions might have been like, what did you I think one of the questions might have been like, what did you know, what did you like, I think one of the questions might have been like, I don't know, like, anyways, I put down, like, it said like, what did you do wrong? And I'm like, nothing, I was the victim. And it's like, how, like, what were you doing wrong? And then, or no, anyways, and I put like, I was not talking and everybody else was, and they were like yelling and everything and being really loud, and I was not talking. And the teacher like gave me, you know, and the teacher like gave me, and I was like, the teacher just gave me lunch detention because we weren't supposed to be talking, and I wasn't talking, but everybody else was, and he was like, nah, this isn't the right stuff, you know. And I was like, okay, and I didn't say it, I was like, but I didn't say it like out loud. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's full of crap too. And so, you know, I freaking go and like, I'm just like he's like, I want you to tell me the truth, and I didn't say it out loud, but I'm like, I'm thinking like, you want me to tell you the truth, but I've been telling you the truth. And it's like, oh, and I'm thinking in my head, okay, you know what, you want the quote-unquote truth, the one that I haven't, the lie that I haven't been telling you, because I've been telling you the truth, the lie that I haven't been telling you. And so, you know, I'm like, okay, or I'm like, and I don't say anything, and you know, like, he just kind of like, he walks off, and like, I erase the stuff that I put down, and then, you know, I fill in like I was disrupting the class and stuff, even though I wasn't. I just, you know, did that so that way I could get out and, you know, and like move on with my life. And, you know, he finally was like, okay, thank you. And I'm like, I didn't say you're welcome, because I'm like, I'm thinking like, I lied to get out, and I was trying to tell you the truth like 2 different times. And, you know, anyways, guys, so yeah, but I finally got to carry on with my life, so I'll see you guys next time. Alright, guys, bye. Alright, guys, bye.